Welcome back to Drinks and Dunks. I'm your host, Ben Marquardt. We've got a great show today. We're going to be putting on our investigator hats and taking a look into a little conspiracy theory I might have cooked up, as well as go over last week's picks with our collab episode and making picks for tonight. But first, we're going to get started with the beer. As always, we got a MIA Brewing Company today out of Miami. Kind of a sweet can. It's Neon, a white Indian Pale Ale. Now, I'm not sure how that differs from a regular Indian Pale Ale, but it's 7.5% alcohol, so pretty strong. But yeah, it's brewed out of Miami, MIA, sweet can. Benvenido a Miami, it says on it. So welcome to Miami. At first taste, it's a little overpowering, I'm not going to lie. A little bit bitter, as a lot of Indian Pale Ales are. Kind of why I prefer Midwest Pale Ales or American Pale Ales. But it's got flavor. So if you're looking for a beer with a ton of flavor and you are really into sort of the more bitter Indian Pale Ales, this beer is probably for you. For me, it's a little bit strong. A little bit too much flavor. So if I were to make an NBA comparison, I'd say somebody that has a little bit too much flavor, a little bit too much stuff going on. And for that, I'd probably... who's a little bit reckless, a little bit out of control at times? I'll go Anthony Edwards. I really like the guy. Former number one pick in this year's draft. He's on the Timberwolves. If you watch him play right now, you can just tell how much athleticism he has. He's just brimming with potential. But he's out of control right now. And I'm sure there's a ton of other guys that I could come up with for being out of control, But watching them last night against the Bucks, he is just flying around the court. A little bit too fast for his processing right now, making turnovers, bad plays. But yeah, I'm going to go Anthony Edwards. And my rating? I'm going to give it a 6.8. Not my favorite. I wouldn't drink it. It's a little strong, pretty high percent alcohol. And so if I don't love the taste, I'm probably not going to have it just casually. And since it's such a high percentage, I'm probably not going to drink a couple of them. So I'm going to go with the 6.8. All right, moving on. Last week's collabs, we had some games on Thursday. I had the guys from Bucks After Darks on, and they made the picks. And I gotta say, this is where I'm putting on my tinfoil hat. I'm diving into the conspiracy a little bit here, because when I went over the picks that I made from the last round, and I mentioned that I was under 500, and that there might be a shotgun coming up since we only have 4 games left in the Bucks' first half schedule. They seemed a little too excited.
Well, that's fair. I mean, getting dumped by 31, that's just tough. Actually, I actually went.
I want to see that shotgun though. Fuck.
Actually, I actually went.
I want to see that shotgun though. Fuck.
Actually, I actually went.
I want to see that shotgun though. Fuck.
They were like, "Oh man, we'd love to see that shotgun." And then I had them make the picks, and I'm not accusing them of anything. No shenanigans going on, but I'm just saying it's awfully coincidental that I was sitting at 9, 11, and 1. They made 3 picks, and what do you know? We're sitting at 9, 14, and 1. Let's go over the picks. So Andrew had Wisconsin versus Iowa. He had the over 143.5. It was actually pretty close, 139. So nothing out of the ordinary there. And then we got the Kings -1 versus the Heat. The Heat ended up winning by 8. Okay, 0 for 2 here. And then we went with the Bucks -6.5. This was Mike's pick versus the Raptors. Bucks lose by 14. So over 3. Got a solid 15 seconds of chugging coming, which I'm not going to lie, I'm not looking forward to. I don't prepare super well, so this beer has been in the freezer for about 30 minutes. Just threw it in after work, so it's not the coldest, if I'm being honest. And now we're sitting at 9, 14, and 1, which is really tough to overcome considering there's only 4 Bucks games left, and they would conclude their first half schedule on March 4th. So we got a week and a half, I should be able to get enough games in there. But I'm going to have to go perfect. I can't lose a single game. So I'm not saying that they threw these games, but they did seem awfully excited about the prospect of me shotgunning a beer.
Actually, I actually went
I
pretty
want to
good.
see that shotgun though. Fuck.
And now it's almost a lock. So, guys, you're going to be getting what you want. So I'm going to chug for 15 seconds, but I want you guys to start thinking about which beer I should shotgun and leave that in the comment section below. So here goes 15 seconds. Here goes nothing. Man, it's not any better after chugging for 15 seconds. Almost finished it off, too. So, yeah, think about which beers you're going to want me to shotgun. And leave those in the comment section. Or, comment on the tweet or Facebook post for sure. All right, looking at tonight's games, I got the Jazz -9 versus the Lakers. The Jazz have the best record in the NBA. They're absolutely cooking. Lakers have lost 4 straight. No Anthony Davis for a few weeks yet. No Dennis Schroeder. They can't score. Essentially, their defense is still all right, but they can't score. LeBron can't do it all. This Jazz team is a buzzsaw, and I feel like the only reason it's not like a 13, 14-point line is because of the Lakers' name. And so, those good teams will get an extra point here or there just because of, they're the defending champs and they have LeBron. When they might not actually be, that shouldn't be the line is what I'm saying. So I'm going Jazz -9 versus the Lakers. And then my next game, I'm going Raptors +2 versus the Heat. Raptors have been really hot lately. They did beat the Bucks twice, so I'm not just basing it off of that. They beat the Sixers. They've won 4 out of 5 at least, and so they've been cooking. So I'm going Raptors +2 versus the Heat, and essentially at this point I got to run the table. So I need those wins to avoid the shotgun at the midway point. But at this point it does look almost inevitable. So get those suggestions in if you want me to do something gross. Maybe a porter, maybe a heavy percenter. Might be pretty gross, but that's today's show. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for everyone who checked it out from Bucks After Dark. Thanks again for those guys for coming on and having me come on theirs, and I appreciate it. Thanks again, guys. Peace.